Lord, I here revoke all wills and testamentary dispositions of every nature or kind whatsoever by me heretofore made. I nominate, constitute, and appoint my daughters, Lois Penner, Velma Schmidt, sole executors and trustees of this my will. I hereinafter refer to my executors for the time being as my trustees. I give, devise, and bequeath all my property of every nature and kind, and wheresoever situate, including any property over which I may have a general power of appointment, to my said trustees upon the following trusts, namely. I don't know what that means, don't ask me. To use their discretion in the realization of my estate, with power of my trustees to sell, call in, and convert into money any part of my estate not consisting of money, at which time or times, in such manner and upon such terms, and either for cash or credit, or for part cash and part credit, as my said trustees may in their uncontrolled discretion decide upon, or to postpone such conversion of my estate, or any part or parts thereof, for such length of time as they may think best, and I hereby declare that my trustees may retain any portion of my estate in the form in which it may be at my death, notwithstanding that it may not be in the form of an investment in which trustees are authorized to invest trust funds, and or whether not there is a liability attached to any such portion of my estate. For such length of time as my said trustees may in their discretion deem advisable, and my trustees shall not be held responsible for any loss that may happen to my estate by reason of so doing. To pay out and charge to the capital of my general estate my just debts, funeral and testamentary expenses, and any income taxes. Debts, she has none. Funeral expenses, we know they've prepaid their funerals, except Chapel One is giving us a bill of approximately $883, which will be for the flowers, the obituary notices, the cards that are going to be handed out tomorrow, and I think that's about it, right? I think so. To pay and divide the rest and residue of my estate as follows. 5% of my estate to each of my executors as compensation for looking after my estate. 10% of my estate to be divided in equal shares among the following recipients: Moral Gospel Church, World Vision, Back to the Bible, Canadian Sunday School Mission. The then remaining balance to be divided equally among my children, provided, however, if any of my children are then dead and shall have issue then alive, such issue shall take in equal shares per stirps the share such deceased child would have taken if then alive. If any beneficiary becomes entitled to any share of my estate before attaining the age of 18 years, then the amount of such share shall be held and kept invested by my trustees, and the income and capital, or so much thereof, as my trustees in their absolute discretion consider necessary or advisable, shall be used for the benefit of such person until such beneficiary has attained the age of 18 years, provided nevertheless that in the case of any such share to a minor, my trustee at their discretion may pay or transfer all or any part thereof to such minor's guardians. This really isn't applicable to us, because there's all of us are alive. The recipient of any such guardian shall be pro tanto a full and sufficient receipt and discharge of my trustee, who shall not be bound to see the application thereof. I here declare that my trustees, when making investments for my estate, shall not be limited to investments authorized by law for trustees, may make any investments which in their uncontrolled discretion they consider advisable, and may said trustees shall be liable for any loss that may happen to my estate in connection with any such investment made by them in good faith. So in other words, we're not doing that, because Velma and me are not going to be responsible for any losses. Well, you know what happened in 2008, so
Yeah.
We ain't going there. I witness thereof, I have to this my last will and testament written upon this, and 2 preceding pages of paper subscribe my name. This the 20th day of September 2007. Okay, a brief rundown. Mom's estate right now is going to be a $50,000 life insurance policy, a $5,000 Purple Shield policy, which they had prepaid before they prepaid the funeral. So now we're claiming that as a life insurance policy. The investments that are at the bank are in joint names, so they are staying in, well, they'll get put into Dad's name. We will discuss that further, and the reason why I'm saying that, now there might be some other little insurance policies, I'm sorry I haven't got a total, but I think most of the other little insurance policies are Dad's with Mom as a beneficiary.